Hey, welcome back to On the Peg with me, your host, the one, the only, the ugly, Matt Montreal, man. And, yeah, it's been a fun week. It's Friday night when you'll be seeing this. And as you know, next week is the start of Chinese New Year, and my ex-wife is Chinese, my daughters are half Chinese, so yes, I celebrate the Chinese New Year. Shocker. Not really. And next year, in the Chinese calendar, it's the Year of the Dragon. Well, hopefully the Year of the Dragon will be a better year for me. After all, I am a snake, and supposedly snakes have a good year in the Year of the Dragon. And I could use some good luck. I could use a job, a sponsor, maybe even a GoFundMe. I don't know, but as you know, dear fans who've been watching, I've been jobless for a while now and losing weight. Oh my God. But have no fear. Next year, the Year of the Dragon, knock on wood, will be a better year for us fellow snakes. But to start this episode off, I figured, well, with the new year approaching, let's look back. Let's go back in time to the Vintage Corner. And we're going way back today. We're going back to American Logs. That's right. This wonderful toy that came with a tin lid because, you know, but now these weren't mine as a kid, but these were basically wooden sticks that were sold to children. Kind of like a Tetris thing that you would basically build with. And yes, oh yeah, can you put the spear into the square hole? Yes, you can. But no, the cool thing about these is these aren't mine from when I was a kid. No. My parents were a bit more cooler than this. I did have some wooden toys. The toys I had were more like just basic wooden toys like that. Used mostly for dominoes. But yeah, Lincoln Logs is a toy I picked up a long time ago. Many years ago in the land of my ancestors. I was thrifting back in Vancouver. And I saw this and I went, I have to get this because at the time, my daughters didn't believe that kids only played with simple wooden toys. Like toys that you get splinters from. Toys that you could literally hurt somebody with. That's right. Because I'm from that generation. They won't go back in the thing. How did these kids manage? No wonder it's like Tetris. But back in those days, kids didn't have the luxury of having safe toys. I mean, we played with lawn darts, projectiles that you would throw at each other with a metal spike. We were that crazy. Our toys were not necessarily safe. They were just meant to be fun. It was sort of like Darwinism at its best. And I can't get these sticks back in here. Somehow I took them out, and the space I took them out of is now filled with other toys. But as I was saying, it was Darwinism at the best. If you were a stupid enough kid to shoot yourself with a BB gun, you kind of deserved it. I'm just saying. If you basically threw a lawn dart at yourself, you kind of deserved it. Now, that's not to say I didn't do stupid things, especially when I was in high school. Me and my friends invented a game called baseball darts. You can imagine throwing darts at a baseball board, and you try to knock it off with a baseball bat. And people thought American Logs were dangerous. I'll put the rest away later when I've had time to figure it out. But yeah, that was the whole point of these wonderful, you played with sticks that would slide in. Now, in some ways it made sense because, trades were a more important trade to study. Way back then, those days, like especially 50s and 60s, they were pushing the trades. If you're in the 70s, they're like, oh no, there's too many people in trades now, go get a university degree. By the time I was finished college, university, it was like, do you have a trade? Trades are good, but this was like something I can see, people like my dad, who was an architect, who started in construction, they teach you the fundamentals of carpentry, because they teach you how to build sliding, like a sliding ruler, for example. They taught you how to do log homes. So if there's ever an apocalypse, I know how to build a log home. It's not very useful, but it's what it is. But in some ways, I just dropped one. And if this looks familiar, yes, I took this from an old Monopoly game. And I have a few of those old ones too. For some reason, when I was in Vancouver, I started collecting old Monopoly games. I don't know why. I hate the game. It's the game that tears families apart, Monopoly. But that was the thing about games back then. You actually would have games where you play as a family. I still have a few friends who have game nights with their families. I don't, because I live alone with my dog and my cat. At least for now, before we become homeless. So if you're wondering, no, I have not found a new job yet. I still have no income. That's why I'm hoping that the Chinese New Year will be a better year for me, because frankly, I could use some good luck. Not just in health, but also in good luck. I feel like I'm coming down with a cold. And if you're wondering, this is Tuesday when we're filming this, because I want to get this filmed in different segments, because I need to, because, you know, why not make it a better show? Last week's show was short, so I want to make my usual length now. But that ending that, let's cut away now to get to the next segment. Hey, as I mentioned, next week is the start of Chinese New Year. It's the Year of the Dragon, so I thought it appropriate that we're going to be talking about a dragon figure this year. But the show we're going to be ending it on was going to be the Spawn Mandarin Dragon. That's right, but we're not doing this now. No. I promised you guys last week we were going to do something different, I guess. Not really. I told you what we're going to do. We're going to do Justice Lord Batman Beyond 2-pack. That's right. I'm opening this baby up so that you can get a better look at it. So let's cut away and we'll be back shortly. Out of the package. I'm going to look at them individually now. So let's start off with Justice Lord Superman. So as you can see, it does have a really sort of like menacing face sculpt. It's a typical Superman body build. It's nothing too unusual. The cape, not a big fan of, you know, that. I like the look of the action figure. I do like him. He does come with spare hands, open hands, and so forth. I do think it's a nice looking Superman. I do. The only negative I really have to say about him is I don't like it this part. No, I don't like it. I can pick my nose. But let's be honest. He's going to go on a shelf like every other toy. And of course, the cape, once more, with the regular you-know-whats that I normally make my comment about, the cape sort of acts as a tripod. Helps to keep him from doing this or doing that. So, yeah, at least in that sense, I don't have to give him an overly weird pose that I can stand, but the cape does help. So, let's get to the star, because let's be honest. McGinnis was the star of Batman Beyond, and here he is, in the green and black suit. I do have to readjust the pointy ears a little bit. Now, I really do like this figure. I have one problem. They're not really poseable. At least not the one I have. I feel if I try moving them, they're going to break. But let's be honest, folks. If you collect toys, and this is not even recording, fuck. Oh, it is recording. Never mind. As I was saying before we had to interrupt the filming there, joys of having a cat. The one thing I don't like are these guys here. They're not really poseable, at least not on mine, because I was, you know, I'm worried I'm going to break them if I try moving them. But as I was saying previously before I had to cut, was that, does it really matter? You know what you're going to do with this. You're going to get this, you're going to go, oh, wow, really cool. You're going to find a pose you kind of like. If you have a flying base, which I think would have been appropriate for both of these guys, would explain the cape if he was in a flying pose against a flying Batman Beyond. But what you're really going to do is you're going to take him, go, oh, wow, he's really cool. Then you're going to go like this on the shelf. Ta-da, he's done. Looks cool. Yeah, I got him. But no, if you do see them, I do recommend pick them up. If you're in Ottawa, try GameStop. Of course, I'm going to plug the stores where I get my toys because I like that store. GameStop, Rideau Centre. If you're in Ireland, if you're in Dublin, go to Big Bang Comics. Anywhere else in Ireland, well, there's only one place. One place you should go if you want this wonderful combo. You're going to go to Sub City Comics. That's right. If you're in Vancouver, well, I would tell you to go to the 8th Dimension because they're still open, but I don't think they got toys at the moment. So you want to go to Tasmanian Comics or GameStop. If you're in London, well, you've got Forbidden Planet. If you're in Glasgow, oh, Castle Comics, boy. Come on, you got to go to Castle Comics. If you're in the States, I don't know, Target. We don't have Targets here, which kind of, frustrates me a little bit because Target has these exclusives that we can't get in Canada. Like the Flashpoint, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, Superman. The Cyborg I wasn't too crazy about, but we can't get them here. No, there's some stuff we can't get. Like, for example, my pre-order of Wonder Woman, the classic, either versions, because I ordered one of each, got canceled because they sold out in the States. So, yeah. Guess I won't be doing the Power Princess Wonder Woman comparison because my pre-order got canceled. Life goes on. I will track it down once I'm working again. Oh, yeah, I almost forgot. One thing I thought was weird with the Batman, the Batarang that comes with him. He's got two of these. It looks more like a raven, like a blackbird, than a bat. Just a little nitpicking. I actually like this. It'd be a cool logo for a new character. But, who can complain? They're toys. We like collecting them. We enjoy collecting them. And, in keeping with the theme of the show, out with the old, in with the new, or the future. See the joke there? Out with the old, the vintage logs to, Batman Beyond in the future. But let's go to the present now, because living in the future is nice to think about, because in the future I'll have a job. I'll have an income. I'll still have a place to live and film. I will be able to buy more toys. Oh, that would be so nice. Knock on wood. But in the present now, we're about to enter the year of the dragon. So yeah. So I picked up this Spawn gold label Mandarin Spawn. Basically, it's the year of the dragon. He looks like a Chinese dragon or an Asian dragon to me. Not really Chinese specific, but he looks like a dragon. He's got a dragon logo on his thing. So what do you say I take him out of the package? And we'll be back. Out of the package, and based on the close-up you just saw, you can tell he is pretty well detailed. I mean, there's detail all around. It shows that Mr. McFarlane spent time in Vancouver, Canada, because after all, he is Canadian. Same here. And in Vancouver, I spent 25 years of my life there. There's a large Asian population. There's a lot of Asian culture there, which, if you're smart enough, you would embrace it. Not the communist part, but the other parts of it are pretty nice. It's the same with Japanese culture. I actually do promote people to study more Asian culture because they have manners. Just saying, my friends in the United States, you could learn a lot from them. But, there's others in this series. I saw a whole bunch. I happen to like the color blue, so I went with blue. Now, there was one person at the store when I picked this up, because I picked this up back last, I think it was October of 2023. There was a person there saying they were offended by this. Yes, there was a Karen at the Toys R Us who was offended by this Asian-inspired Mandarin Spawn. Really? You're offended by an action figure because it has the word Mandarin, it has a bit of a Asian style to it? Why? Why are you offended by a toy? I mean, it's not promoting anything. It's just a toy. It's Spawn. It's, are you offended by He-Man, Skeletor, because he's promoting death? No. This person was offended because she said it was cultural appropriation. Okay. Couple things. Having had a Chinese mother-in-law who I just referred to as mom, and I miss her greatly. She was fantastic. Having a Canadian-born Chinese wife. Having two kids who are half Chinese, having friends who are Chinese, even going back to Montreal. I have never seen a Chinese dragon depicted like this. Ever. No, it may be inspired. I mean, I don't blame Todd. You know, living in Vancouver, you see a lot of things Asian. It has a nice little Chinatown. It's not a big Chinatown. Big Chinese population, small Chinatown. Montreal, big Chinatown. Four gates. Four gates. Yeah, four corners. And, you know, Chinatown's relatively small, but the Chinese population is spread out. But I can see why he was inspired. There's a lot of things in here, like especially the details on the sword and the spear. They're very Asian inspired. Now, do I think it's cultural appropriation? No. It's not. It's a toy. It's a toy. He didn't name it after any specific Chinese deity. No, he didn't style it after any specific Chinese dragon, and there are a few. He literally just made a toy. That's it. I don't get offended when people say that, you know, helmets with horns on it are Viking. I'm not. I think they're uneducated because Vikings never wore helmets. Same as the people who now claims that Vikings were invented. Check this out. This is actually going on. There are people in social media saying that the Vikings were invented by Africans given to white people to give them jobs. That's like saying Cleopatra wasn't mostly Greek, even though if you know your history books, you know she would. But I'm getting off topic completely. So yeah, I don't see this as cultural appropriation. I don't. Do I have some problems with it? Yeah, I do. But not what you think. It's not cultural problems I have with it. I think it's a cool idea to do dragon-based characters. I mean, imagine this face-off. Ha ha ha! Dragon-inspired as well. Think about it. My thing is, yeah, I really like McFarlane toys because that's why I've been collecting. My problem is, I have a question for Todd. Mr. McFarlane, do you have a thing against symmetry? Seriously? I've noticed all your Spawn characters, in general, I think 99% of all your Spawn characters, are never symmetrical. No. Big Thorn, little skull face. Like, you know, if you look at Spawn himself, one giant boot, one normal boot. Why is that? Why, Mr. McFarlane, do you hate having something symmetrical? I mean, the cloth looks symmetrical, the knees are symmetrical. You came close to it, you know. The legs were the same size, but you had to do different patterns because you don't like symmetry. I'm a guy who likes symmetry. I don't know, maybe it's just me. But that's the only thing I don't like about this guy is the lack of symmetry. I like things to have balance. Part of it is because I've been doing martial arts since I was a kid. I like that balance. I like that symmetry. For example, Batman, wings, same size, symmetry. Yes, the lines, symmetric. I have a thing for symmetry. It's also something from Asian culture as well. You want positive and negative balance. You want that symmetry in things. You also want symmetry in sort of what you're wearing. A little asymmetrical is fine because, you know, the way things button and so forth. But, John, seriously, how heavy would that be if this was a human being? That'd be heavy. It's a good thing it's a mythical character. But no, overall, if you like Spawn and you like detail, pick them up. If you like stuff that's Asian-inspired, but not culturally inappropriate, pick them up. I don't regret having him. I think he's going to look cool on a shelf in a library. He's not going to go with my DC Multiverse collection. No, I have spots for other action figures. I do have a few other Spawns I got years ago that are down in my office where I do my writing. But yeah, that was, yeah, that's it. I still am shocked that someone thought this was culturally inappropriate. Yeah. Now, let's be honest. When it comes to, okay, this is the rant time. You know I'm going to rant. I have to rant. Okay? I find it really funny in this new society of ours that people keep on claiming culture, you know, appropriation. First of all, being Canada, we're supposed to be a country that embraces different cultures. So you should embrace other cultures. You should look at them and look at their studies. In the States, it's a melting pot. But the whole point is, my generation, I'm old, right? If you're born from 65 to like 80, you're part of this generation. They call us now Generation X, whatever. We grew up outside. We grew up basically not being offended by anything. I mean, we had Sam Kinison, Andrew Dice Clay as our comedians. We didn't get offended. We didn't think of things like this as cultural appropriation. No, we thought, okay, it's kind of cool. Period. You know, we were told to embrace other cultures, not to start nitpicking. Oh no, that's from the African community. By the way, braids, Vikings had them. Maybe that's why they think Vikings were created by Africans. Just because they found evidence of Moors in Viking settlements doesn't mean that they were all dark-skinned. Let's be honest. That's like people in the States thinking Yeshua Ben Terra, or as he's commonly known as Jesus, was purely white. But I was saying, we were told to embrace other cultures. I mean, I had a cousin who was Jewish. I had friends of different backgrounds. We didn't care. My mother was born in at the time they used to call them Indian reserves. Now it's indigenous reserves. She was born up there. I didn't care. We were told to embrace different cultures, and even things like this, where it's kind of cool. I mean, I have an Asian doll collection downstairs. I have my sadly, she passed away years ago. My mother-in-law's or mom's two dragons. They're in my house proudly. I love them. I have a lot of jade. I collected a lot of jade for a while. I was raised to be that way. I mean, come on. I think our generations nowadays, the younger ones nowadays, are so stuck on trying to be so new woke, not just woke, but new woke, that they forget that certain people in certain countries don't get offended. You throw a dirty joke out there, I'm not going to be offended. If it's good, I'll laugh, because I know you don't mean it. I mean, I can laugh at Ricky Gervais, I can laugh at Jamie Carr. It's just comedy. You do a movie that sort of like for example, The Great Wall. Yeah. I watched that movie, and at first I was like, what the heck is this? And I saw it in the theater way back when. They even took my mother, I didn't take her, but they took my mother-in-law to see it, and she kind of liked it. It was pure fantasy. Some people were offended by it. It was fantasy, people. It's an imaginary world. I understand being offended by the live-action Mulan, because that was offensive in a lot of ways. Woo. But I'm not going to be offended by this. It's really not. And the reason why I say Mulan was offensive, look at the live-action Disney movie, and you'll see what I mean. There was a lot of things in there that were kind of like, same reason why you don't see Bugs Bunny or Walt Disney cartoons, especially the Walt Disney cartoons from like the 1930s and 40s. Whoa! They definitely crossed the line by our standards today. Back then it was whatever. You know, people look at the times. So no, I'm not offended by Spawn. Do I want to collect the rest of the Dragon ones? If they were all $5 a piece, yeah, I'd probably pick up a whole bunch more. Why not? Would I pay full price for them? No. I didn't pay full price for this guy. It was on clearance because it'd been sitting there for a while. But no, that's pretty much. I just find that people get offended too easily nowadays, and especially in this world. I mean, where the economy is insane. I'm not sure where you live, but in Canada, rents here are going through the roof. But people are struggling. For example, in Vancouver, Todd, where you're from, well, you seem to have forgotten. Rents are so bad there that it's gone to the point where people are sharing rents, not just having a roommate. We're talking sharing a rent. In other words, you'll have like 4 people in they call them laneway houses. They're in the back of a house. It's like a basic garage that's turned into a house. People are sharing this. People are trying to find any place that's less than $2,000. Vancouver is one of the most expensive cities to live in Canada. I've actually, years ago, I did some research, and when you look at what people earn and what they pay for rent and other things, it is one of the top 10 expensive cities to live in the world. So is Toronto. Ottawa's getting there. Ottawa's getting there. Trust me, if I had the money, I'd be moving back to my hometown of Montreal. Still affordable. Yeah, but I don't have the money yet. After all, I'm not working. That's why I'm hoping the Year of the Dragon will be a better year for me. But people get offended by things, and that's why. Get over it. Are you not adults? I mean, children don't get offended. You put kids together, they'll just play. They don't care. It's the influence of culture that gets the people to become racist and to be offended and to be so new woke that it's at a point now where we're going backwards in cultural development. I'm not offended by the possibility of a evil Superman. I'm not offended by a man dressed as a bat. I'm not offended by pretty much anything except ignorance and stupidity. Yeah. That's my rant for today. That's pretty much it. Next week, you won't see me as much because I thought I'd give you guys a break from doing, this is 3 episodes of just me. So next week, we're going to have at least two guest hosts on the show. Who they're going to be? Well, they're not going to be Leroy Lowry. We've already said that. Leroy and Lowry are working on other projects that'll be on the Montreal Man channel probably soonish. No, we have some other guest hosts. You can pretty much guess who they're going to be, but they will not be doing DC toys. I will be on for one review. Which review, I'm not sure. I've got a few. I've got a Gold Label Superboy Prime. I've got a couple other multi-packs, like, let me see, which this one is? I got that one to do. I've also got that one to do. That one's tempting. It's not a Batman one. I've also got, this is going back, but I got this off a collector. I got the Flash and Red Bat. Does it show McFarlane's got a thing for Batman? I've also got a 3-pack. I got a whole bunch of other, toys as well. But no, I figured I'll spare you guys all of my face for next week. That, and I'm coming down with a cold. So I'm not sure if I'm going to do any filming for the rest of the week. It's mostly just going to be editing because I won't tell you how sore this is. It's really bad. Toys I'm not having heat on. This is heat from the lights. This is nice. But I do have some other stuff. Like I said, we have guest hosts. We have other toys that they review. So there might not be any shorts for, this week, maybe not until next week. So that's pretty much it. Yeah, that's it. If there's anything you guys want me to review, I have a whole bunch of toys here. I still have stuff on the rack. Let me see what I have. I still have a whole bunch of Batman Build-A-Figures to do. I've got, there's other toys on the shelf, on the Madness Inc. shelf to review. But no, I think give you guys a break next week. I'll be here for one, maybe two. I might do a vintage toy as well. I don't know. Depends. I might do the vintage toy as a short, so you might see that on next week. But for this week, that's it. There's nothing on Saturday. There'll be nothing on Sunday because, like I said, I'm coming down with a cold. Not 100%. Looking forward to the new year. Knock on wood. I have an income again so I can pay rent. An income to get toys, because I did get a call from my buddy at GameStop today that I have to go in on the weekend because there's a lot more toys to pre-order. It never ends. It doesn't end. I have, right now, currently, last time I checked, if I take the ones that were canceled because they sold out in the States, over 50 things on pre-order. They're all coming supposedly in March. And I'm not working, so you can imagine panicking a little bit. There's a whole bunch of other things that are coming up on pre-order that I need to go make my decision on. Maybe I should start a GoFundMe. I don't know. Go fund the toy review. Whatever. But no, like I said, hopefully something will pick up. I'll get some work. I'll get some income. I'll pay rent so I can still have a place to live. Because if not, I lose all of this. I lose all my toys, all my collections. If I get evicted, I'm on the street. That's no fun. But one thing I always try to do in these videos, no matter how bad, and this is a message to everybody out there, no matter how bad your life is right now, how much trouble or pain you're going through, I say this in every video. I try to come across this way. Try to be positive. Try to look at the good side. I look at this as right now I still have a place to live. I still have toys. Yes, I still have heat from the lights when I turn them on. Try to be positive. And if you're having a day where you're not feeling positive, it's okay. It's all right to have those down days. It's okay. We all get them. I've been going through a few lately, especially when I'm sick. Like, I know the next couple of days I'm going to be coughing up phlegm, or at least have a sore throat. Probably won't be able to talk, which to some people would be a pleasure, me not speaking. That plus the fact I do have to start concentrating like heavy duty on finding a job because it's now going to be February. February leads into March. And with all the stuff I have on pre-order, I better have an income. But no, stay positive, people. Enjoy life. Once more, thank you for liking? Like and subscribe to these videos. And like I said, stay healthy, stay positive, enjoy your toys. And, by the way, happy Chinese New Year. You're the dragon after all. Have a good one.